Have you ever hit that sweet spot where everything's going right, doors open, and opportunities magically appear? That is what golden alignment is all about. Dr. Beth Golden loves to play in that golden space and teach others how to get there and stay there. Get ready to listen, share, and experience what golden alignment in life can look like for you. Now, here is the host of Golden Alignment, author, speaker, and coach, Dr. Beth Golden.
Hello, and welcome to today's show of Golden Alignment. I am Dr. Beth Golden, and I am going to be sharing with you today the topic of I deserve to be. So we live in a fast-paced, demanding world and rarely think, at least I don't, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be healthy, wealthy, loved, beautiful, etc. And in today's show, we're going to take a look at the root of I deserve to be and how we can get into golden alignment in several areas of our life at one time, because you are, therefore you deserve to be. Now, I had been listening to Audible and a book on tape, and he was talking about this very sentence and broke it down. And like, how often do you think I deserve to be healthy? I deserve. Does that create any kind of vibration in your body? Like, do you think, of course I deserve it? Or do you think, I never think deserve? So let's break this down a little bit, and we're going to go forward with different topics that you deserve. So the Latin word deserve is broken down. The deserve part equals service, and the prefix of de means of. So of service or from service. So I deserve from service, my service, to be, and we will fill in the blank. Well, let's look at to be also. And let's look at how amazing and incredible and a miracle that you are as a human being, not as a human doing. You are a being. You are a soul that has inhabited this amazing body, this vehicle that's been given to you. And how did this body get created? Other than a sperm penetrating an egg and creating cell division to the point that our body differentiates, which is a complete miracle in and of itself. You know, we didn't think it. And if you're a woman and you've been pregnant, you certainly are affirming that your baby is healthy and strong and has 10 toes and 10 fingers and all those things. But when you're being knit together in the darkness of your mother's womb, are you consciously thinking, okay, I'm making a heart. Now we're going to do the pancreas, spleen, and liver. No, we don't do that. We're miraculously made. Just think about that. We start from two single cells that unite and divide and divide and divide. And we have lungs, and we have our urinary tract, we have eyes and ears and a brain. And that in itself is an absolute miracle. And then we are born with this fully developed spirit in a itty-bitty body that is unable to do anything for itself. And if you've ever looked at a baby's eyes, you can just kind of see this vastness in their expression. It's like, let me out of here. I don't want to have to spend 10, 20, 30 years growing. And yet we chose that, didn't we, to come here and to do that. So just think about that. We are, I am so unique in history. And there's only one. There's only one of you, one of me, one of your mother, father, sister, brother, anyone who's in your world. And, if you're in the art community or the music community, if there's only one of something, it is considered highly valuable. Its value increases. So think about how priceless and what a treasure you are. So I deserve to be. Deserve kind of jangles me a little bit. I'm not sure why. And I started looking up meanings of, and deserve also by Webster's dictionary definition is to be worthy of. So, how many times this unconscious message playing in our head that we're not worthy to be loved? And where the hell did that come from anyway? Here were this absolute miracle come through in purity and innocence and, Lord willing, into the arms of those who really love us. And then as we grow and mature, like up into the age of 6 or 7, we're absorbed everything. We're in an alpha brainwave state, which is kind of daydreamy, fun, wonderful place. And when we're little, we have great imagination and adventures, but we're also downloading societal norms and or cultural norms, no matter where we live on the planet. So what if we have a mother who, while she was carrying you, felt horrible about herself? I'm ugly, I'm fat, I can't wait to have this baby, I'm uncomfortable. Well, all of that is getting knit into you as well. And moms who have babies are tired afterward. And babies like to be up all night long. So we really absorb the vibe of the people around us. And it's not something that's even conscious. We just kind of have this programming that's playing underneath. And the fabulous part is we get to undo some of that in a gentle way. So you are worthy to be. You are worthy to be walking this planet. You are a treasure, and you're here to give your gifts. How does that make you feel? Does that strike terror in your heart as well? We're going to do this, loaded baked potato here. We're just going to dump everything in, and then we can deconstruct things. But, I'm worthy to be, and I deserve to be. So let's look at a couple of ways that we can gently peel back the onion layers of the onion, and expose things in ways that aren't going to cause us pain, but we can look at and we can surrender to, and we can take a deep breath and go, okay, this isn't true. We are going to completely shatter this false reality that we've created to protect ourselves. There's a saying that I love. It's like, what is that? Blessed are the cracked, for they let their light shine. And we are light beings too, so it's just like, okay, let's crack this reality. So whenever we're going to do something different, a word pops in, and that word is change. And change is important all through our lives because we need to adapt to what is going on in our world, in our lives. Sometimes change, we create it. Sometimes it feels as though it happens to us. And we're very adaptable creatures, or we wouldn't be alive and 7.5 billion strong on the planet. But it also can feel very frightening, and that you're letting go. So we're going to venture into the deserving to be and deserving to be loved. Sometimes this is really difficult because, again, of this programming. We are unique and we deserve love. We are love. We come from love. We go back to love. And then this whole love thing between our birth and our death can get very skewed at times. Lots of expectations and hopes for things, which could be very positive as well. We also have the very unique ability above any sentient being to change our thoughts, to change our environment. And I find that really, really exciting. It's very exciting to be able to change. And I often refer, when I'm doing my own shows, to Dr. David R. Hawkins' scale of emotional frequency. At the bottom of that scale is shame at an emotional frequency of 20, which is one step above death. And then going all the way up to 963, which is enlightenment. And right in the middle of that scale is a very heavy line, and above the line is courage. And when we go to change, it takes courage to change, doesn't it? And courage equals action. So let's look at a couple stories about I deserve to be loved and what's happening in our society today, where that is not the main message that we're receiving. We are hearing a lot about very well-known celebrities choosing to commit suicide, being in a state of mental health that they either share or don't share, and have a brain imbalance to the point where they choose to leave the planet. When we are loved and fed and supported, we thrive. So when you're a baby and helpless, you're loved and fed and supported, and the way that you thrive is to grow and to put on weight and to, develop into a being on this planet. There are babies where they call failure to thrive, where they might be in an orphanage or a hospital or a setting where they aren't picked up and loved and rocked and spoken loving words into. And just like a plant that doesn't receive water, and it begins to shrivel up and lose its life force. And that happens to babies. And it's a specific term denoted to children who aren't getting enough attention at infancy. It's called failure to thrive. Well, think about as we become adults, are there any areas in your life where you feel as though you've had a failure to thrive in your life? And how is that based on being loved, not being loved, and how to get back into a state of balance? We're going to go into our first commercial break. You are listening to Golden Alignment with myself, Dr. Beth Golden, and we're on the topic of deserving to be. And on the other side of this commercial break, we're going to talk about deserving to be loved and how that creates a position for us to thrive. So we will pick this up on the other side of this commercial break.
Do you want to create change in your life based on your values? Do you want to love this experience we call life because you are living in alignment with your soul's calling? Do you want to expand your relationship with abundance and move from surviving to thriving? By tuning into Inspired Choices radio show, Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You'll be amazed by your golden health, wealth, love, and magical opportunities. Listen for the Golden Alignment radio show every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Welcome back to the Inspired Choices radio show, Golden Alignment, with Dr. Beth Golden. To participate in this program, please call U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You may also choose to comment by email by going to www.drbethgolden.com. Now back to Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden.
Welcome back. You are listening to Golden Alignment with myself, Dr. Beth Golden, and we are discussing the I deserve to be phenomena and how crazy our society can be about kind of thwarting the spirit within. And yet we have the ability to turn those things around and to tap into our soul and to know what we love and to have the courage to take steps along the way to achieve that. And it's so important to be loved. I was part of Unity Church for quite some time, and it was like, I am love, I am loved, and I am loving. So we are all aspects of love within our own being. And when we can truly love ourselves first, it's quite often easier to receive love if that has actually been an issue in your life in the past. So how do we really love ourselves? One way is to remember that we are a miracle. Another way is to know ourselves. Like, what motivates you? So you can stay in the lane of that, Do you love to create order? And that's a gift that you can use in a variety of careers. Do you love to be in front of a room, or does that actually terrify you? Number one fear, other than death, is public speaking. Apparently that's not an issue for me or many people on this station, but for a large part of the population, that is true. So what motivates you? How much energy do you have to thrive? What do you love in your environment, and what takes that energy away? Because we have a finite amount of energy. So knowing all those things about ourselves creates the ability to really love and honor the miracle, the absolute unique treasure that each and every one of us are. And when we can hold that space and we know more and more details about this innate being that was knit into our mother's wombs in the darkness, and all those gifts were there before we even came forth, and to own them is awesome. Now, I was closing my eyes and owning them. I always say, like putting that mantle on, putting the kingly or queenly robe upon our shoulders and standing in front, proud with our shoulders back, and being in the presence of our own greatness. That sounds really exciting in our minds. And then all of a sudden there's a shrinking back. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen. Why not? Why don't we want to be seen? Because we don't feel like we're worthy. We feel we may be made fun of. We worry about what other people are going to think and say. And yet we go to sleep every night, and we wake up every day, and we go to sleep every night, and we wake up every day. So what are we going to do with this? I was watching America's Got Talent the other evening, and there was this young lady who had an absolutely beautiful voice. And the story I'm going to tell is a story that's told frequently by those who have persevered and have chosen to stand up and be seen. And the story was that of rejection and bullying. Oh, it wasn't a singer. She did this crazy jump roping act. Like, she would do a double backflip, and she'd be doing all this amazing stuff in time and space that nobody else can do. and she was from Hungary, and she was on the team. And even though she was on this very professional team traveling all over her country, they chose to ostracize her and say that she wasn't good enough and put her in the corner and make her feel less than. Now, I correct myself instantly when I say make her feel less than. She chose to feel less than. She chose to be in the corner, and she chose not to stand up and fight back. But that's all part of development. Here she is on the stage of America's Got Talent, being seen by millions and millions of people. And she persevered and loved herself and loved her craft enough to risk and be in this very, very visible place and to be applauded and loved and enveloped by adulation by that very big auditorium of people, and to be given her spot, and that all those other people that were bullying her weren't there, and she was in the spotlight. So bullying is a big issue, which creates the feeling of not being worthy and not being worthy to deserve love. And yet, our human spirit is strong. And when we persevere and do the thing that we know that we're called to do, it does come forth in its time to flourish, or it's time to blossom. We are born with a big, big dream inside. And sometimes when we're on the path to that dream, it feels like there's all kinds of obstacles that are put in our place and that they're meant to block our dream. But they're often there to help us break through to the fulfillment of our promises, of our greatness. I don't know, that's that hero's journey thing, where we have this obstacle and we break through and we share our story and we're standing in the light of God's grace. And yet we've always stood in the light of God's grace. So how do we function with this back and forth thought process? I'm seeing it, you can look at it as a pendulum. I'm actually feeling it or seeing it as like the infinity sign, where it goes from one side to the other side. So our spirit is telling us one thing, and the space between our ears is telling us another. We are worthy to be. We're worthy to be here. We're worthy to be loved. We're worthy to be healthy. We're worthy to be wealthy. We're worthy to have and do our finest work and the passions of our life. So, let's end a parting thought on I'm worthy to be loved. And we were going to go to I am worthy to be healthy. So, let's just sit and take a deep breath. Let's breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And 1 more time. In through your nose and out through your mouth. I deserve to be loved. So I want you to repeat that. I deserve to be loved. I am a one-time miracle. I am unique, and there will never be anyone else like me. I am precious, and I am highly valued. I am love. I am love. That feels good, doesn't it? Let's go to I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be healthy. Well, healthy we always think of in a whole way. My body feels good. I'm not sick. I'm not in dis-ease. I'm not in the hospital. I don't have some kind of disease going on. But we need to have mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. And each one contributes to our physical health. So when we're mentally healthy and we know we're unique and loved and we have a great support system and we're in the midst of doing what we love to do and being supported in that, we have really good mental health. It's kind of like walking on a tightrope, though. You know, sometimes you might get a little off balance, or sometimes because you're not aware of what your purpose is, and some person may say something that will throw you off balance, and you might just fall off that tightrope and be hanging on with your fingers. But get back up there. We're all about balance. Remember that infinite sign, the sign of infinity. So mental health is very important. And I can't stress the importance of that enough because many, many people actually have a chemical imbalance in their brain that causes an outward expression of dis-ease, mental ease, and the behaviors that go along with that. If you are in a place where you are depressed and thinking suicidal thoughts, please, 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 please ask for help. There are suicide hotlines everywhere. Don't feel as though if you're in college and you're not performing and you're lonely that you can't tell your parents. You're not disappointing anyone. Your greatest purpose on this lifetime is to be you, and you are loved. So if you're in a space where you are not in the flow of your personal well-being, it is okay to change your space and change the direction of your life to maintain your mental and emotional sense of health. So we have mental, emotional, spiritual. So that's a loaded potato word too, spiritual. Spiritual and religious are often intertwined, and in this sense, I am talking about connection with your spirit and your higher self and God. I'm not talking about any religious doctrine. And knowing and being able to sit or go for a walk or do Tai Chi or to dance or to play your guitar. Anything that brings you joy connects you with your higher self and with God, which creates that spiritual well-being where you can thrive and be strong and go out into the world. So this is a good place for us to break. It feels like a scratch on a record. Let's go from there, and we are going into our second commercial break. You're listening to Golden Alignment with myself, Dr. Beth Golden, and we're moving through the thought of I deserve to be, and then we're adding words along the end of that, and we will be back after this commercial break, and we'll continue our discussion about you deserve to be healthy. Thanks so much, and we'll be chatting with you in just a moment or two.
Do you want to create change in your life based on your values? Do you want to love this experience we call life because you are living in alignment with your soul's calling? Do you want to expand your relationship with abundance and move from surviving to thriving? By tuning into Inspired Choices radio show, Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You'll be amazed by your golden health, wealth, love, and magical opportunities. Listen for the Golden Alignment radio show every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Welcome back to the Inspired Choices radio show, Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden. To participate in this program, please call U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You may also choose to comment by email by going to www.drbethgolden.com. Now back to Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden.
Welcome back to Golden Alignment. I am Dr. Beth Golden. I have the privilege of being a radio show host on Inspired Choices Network. I am also a teacher, trainer, and clarity mentor. And I work with people who have been on a personal or spiritual journey for quite some time and are thrown off balance due to change, usually some momentous or rapid change. And I was certainly in that place at one time in my life. And being both an entrepreneur and a mental health professional, I didn't know who to turn to. And someone had had a health crisis, and I was the one that was there and was taking care of things. I was completely overwhelmed, and I'm going, oh my gosh, this is my line of work, and I am overwhelmed and lost and in need of help. And at the hospital, they're saying, oh, well, there's a stroke support group, and they meet the first Thursday of the month. And I was thinking, I don't even know what day it is. So if you happen to be in a place where life normally is chugging right along for you and you get knocked the pony, as I say, and need some assistance, please feel free to contact me. My information is on the network, and you can contact me at beth@goldenalignment.com. That's my email address, and we can set up a time where we can help you get back into a state of love and balance in your life. I have a program, Clarity Creates Golden Alignment. So we do have a point A through Z to walk through and help you get to a place of balance in your life. So before the show, before this commercial break, we're talking about deserving to be healthy. Sometimes people choose dis-ease in order to get attention and love from people, and then it becomes a chronic state. I worked with a lovely, lovely lady who, when I hired her, it was for a different business. She was saying, well, I can only work part-time, and I have diabetes, and I have a bad heart, and so she was focusing on all those things that weren't working well for her. And she had also had a history of the only time her father paid loving attention to her was when she was sick. So she had seen it with her mom. Her mom was chronically ill and passed away when she was a teenager. So she absorbed this pattern of the time that I get loving attention and people sit by me and spend time with me is when I'm sick. Wouldn't it be great to know that that isn't true? It depends how far along the path you are on that process, but your body chooses and wants to be in a state of balance or homeostasis. And its natural state is health, not disease. So you deserve good health. And if you had a ding when I just said that the only time that you feel that you get love and that sweet, tender attention is when you're sick, let's talk, because you can get it in a whole bunch of other ways. And I'd be happy to walk you through that, because you do not want to live a life that isn't full and you feel great and it's exciting and you make wonderful choices and courageous moves and you have all the people there to lovingly support you. Another quick story. Before I became a radio show host on Inspired Choices Network, I had done the same type of thing several years ago and really enjoyed it. And the owner, Christine McIver, was very encouraging, and she continues to really support her hosts and encouraged me to do shows by myself and not to always have guests, so that people could hear my brilliance and the spirit downloading through me in order to support and love you. Everybody needs a cheerleader. And you also need to be willing to risk. So I would be more than happy to be your cheerleader, but I know there are other people that are in your circle that are willing to be your cheerleader to keep you happy and healthy and thriving, because our whole purpose on this planet is to live in joy. Think about this. We're actually alien beings. You can say we came from outer space. We came from non-form state of consciousness and all lined up and said, I want to go down to earth and I want to inhabit a human body and I want to feel emotions and I want to feel excitement and, whole gamut. Fear, grief, joy, love, and I want to eat food because food is delicious. And I want to have sex because that's really fun, and you can't do that in the spirit realm. I want to ride a bicycle and ski and go water skiing and hike. Isn't that the most amazing? We're supposed to be in a place of well-being. So if you are not in a place of well-being, it's time to just move along, little doggy, and get in a place where you can. Yes, it does take courage, it does take love, it does take support, but you deserve mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. We are called daily to look for the things that we do want and remove our focus from the things that don't, because what you focus on grows, which is true, and what you think about, you bring about. So be in a place of well-being. What does that mean? That means if you have a friend that is constantly negative and every time you go around them, all they do is complain and think of the worst thing ever, they are like, have you heard, when you have a balloon and you hold the top really tight and it goes, because air coming out of it? Well, that's what's happening to you. Your energy is leaving your body because somebody's negative. You want to minimize your exposure. If you are, I was in a meeting, I can't believe I did this because I'm a people pleaser, and I'm changing. The lecturer had a lot of good things to say, but he wasn't a trained speaker, so he didn't create engagement with the group. So therefore we are being talked at and not engaging with his subject matter. And I was sitting at the back of the room. It was a restaurant, and on the other side of the partition was the restaurant, and kids were screaming, so I was having a challenge staying present anyway. And I just finally said, I am not in a state of well-being. And I gathered my things and stood up and gave a nod, thank you, and left. So sometimes we need to do that. So let's move on. You deserve to be wealthy. Well, wealthy means different things to each person. So I want you to take a moment and write down the number in your mind, let's just say annually, that would be in a place of wealth for you. So take a moment and think, what would I want to have annually, receive annually, create so that I am in a state of wealth? As I was walking my dogs, I was realizing yesterday there are so many ways that we are in a state of wealth. I am wealthy because I could take my dogs for a walk at 10 a.m. and I wasn't in an office or a job. And I was wealthy because I could look up and see sparrows bombarding this big, I don't know if it's a hawk or an owl. Owls are usually nocturnal, but it had a huge wingspan, and it was a beautiful thing to see. I'm wealthy because I can take my dog swimming in the river, and as I'm walking up the path, I see this beautiful gray heron just sunning itself standing on a log. I am wealthy because I drive a car that works and that I like. I am wealthy because I can make a car payment, and I can pay for gas, and I can pay for insurance. I am wealthy because I have food in my refrigerator and a closet full of clothes. I have running water that's clean, that I can clean my body and I can drink. I have electricity that at a flip of a switch provides the source of energy that I get to stare at a computer. I choose to do that, or whatever else needs. Have a dishwasher. Isn't that cool? So there's all kinds of ways that we live in wealth. And sometimes when we are feeling constricted financially, everything else is constricted in our life as well. Our viewpoint of what we can or cannot, or choose not to do is restricted. Our sense of well-being becomes restricted because we have this stress in our chest and tightness, and we become in a state of lack and instead of a state of abundance. So if you're in that place, let's take a deep breath again. Money is energy, and money is an exchange of energy. And when you give your service and the person is happy with your service, there's an exchange of energy in the form of money, not always, but in the form of money that keeps the flow in the universe. So if you're feeling really constricted, think about, I deserve to be wealthy. I am worthy of wealth. And let's go back to that word deserve. Remember from the beginning, and that means service. So what are you doing that is of service or from service that creates this flow? And take your eyes away from your fear of lack, and what can I do to be of service to create more financial flow in my life? You deserve to be wealthy. You are more than worthy to be wealthy, whatever that means in your personal world. So we've discussed, I deserve to be, that you're amazing and unique and you deserve to be here. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be wealthy. And we are going to go into our third commercial break. And during the break, I want you to just take some time and get settled and start thinking about all the blessings that you have in life. And when we come back, we're going to focus on all the greatness that is there for you. So we will return. You are listening to Golden Alignment with myself, Dr. Beth Golden.
Do you want to create change in your life based on your values? Do you want to love this experience we call life because you are living in alignment with your soul's calling? Do you want to expand your relationship with abundance and move from surviving to thriving? By tuning into Inspired Choices radio show, Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You'll be amazed by your golden health, wealth, love, and magical opportunities. Listen for the Golden Alignment radio show every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Welcome back to the Inspired Choices radio show, Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden. To participate in this program, please call U.S. 815-880-8255. Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You may also choose to comment by email by going to www.drbethgolden.com. Now back to Golden Alignment with Dr. Beth Golden.
Welcome back. You are listening to Golden Alignment with myself, Dr. Beth Golden. And we have been talking about I deserve to be. I deserve to be healthy, wealthy, loved, wise. You deserve to have a big, big dream. I was just perusing, there's a book called Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson, and it talks about ordinary. And that would be you and I. So let's just listen to this excerpt. One morning, Ordinary woke up with these words echoing in his mind. What are you missing that you already have? Could it be? Ordinary looked and looked, and then he discovered that in a small corner of his heart lay a big dream. The big dream told him that a nobody was made to be a somebody and destined to achieve great things. Each and every one of us are a somebody. And God, universe, spirit, whatever you identify in that term, has made you and imbued your physical being with a spirit and has created a big dream that only you can achieve. Nobody else has that dream. Now, whenever we say big dream, I don't know about you, but we go to rock stars and movie stars and highly visible. What about those ordinary heroes that see a need and fill it in their community, and that's their dream? What about Meals on Wheels or Mothers Against Drunk Drivers or all the nonprofits that have been created to serve our communities? Our dreams, our big dreams, may not be on the big stage, but they are important to the fulfillment of your purpose on this planet and to the fulfillment of those around you. Every person I meet who is not actively pursuing a big dream can identify with the feelings of fear or I don't have the support that I need, and that dreams only happen to someone else. You know, everybody else carries a dream, but dreams are hidden deep in our heart. And when someone puts a finger on that hidden dream, the person almost always becomes emotional because you're touching that place of hope and that place of desire, that place of excitement. And immediately the thoughts of I can't come in. You're not ordinary, you're extraordinary. Now, what is it? When the student is ready, the teacher arrives. So when you are ready, all you have to do is say, okay, I'm ready. Let my awareness expand. Let me see where the opportunities are that I can pursue. Bring me the people, places, and circumstances. Because there's one thing I found out about spirit, frustratingly for me, of course, is that I don't get to know the path. I just get to take one step at a time, and I dare say that's probably the same for you too. But that's the fun and exciting part, because who is going to come alongside on your journey that you're walking and say, hey, I can help you, and let me introduce you to so-and-so. Or, hey, you know, you've been doing this, and you'd be a great fit. And it might not be in an area that you thought would work for you. Now, my show, Golden Alignment, I talk to people all the time about how their golden alignment changes due to choice or circumstance or being on that road. And someone says, hey, would you like to join me? Or I can provide this. And their life completely changes because they're open to seeing opportunities. This is not luck. Luck is when opportunity and preparation meet. This isn't an overnight success because anyone you talk to that has been deemed an overnight success has been on their path for at least 10 years and doing and having successes in their area of, pursuit. And all of a sudden, whether it's the 100th monkey or the tipping point, or all of a sudden they're really willing to be seen and everything comes together. So you deserve everything that you desire. And how are you going to walk that out? Depends where you are in life. As teenagers, you're typically students and you have to listen to your parents. In your 20s, it's all about experimenting. So that could be travel, school, work, marriage, kids, all of the above. In your 30s, it's all about who am I and working and kind of feeling like well, I didn't think it was going to turn out this way, feeling some constriction, and there's a bit of craziness sometimes between 30 and 42. In your 40s, it's all about, oh, I'm going to gather my tools, and this is who I really am. We're deemed an adult at 21, and in our 40s, it's like, oh, wow, I'm putting that robe on, that royal robe on. In our 50s, we go out and we give our messages. In our 60s, many people retire and have a wonderful life. In our 70s, people come back to us. Our life is a cycle. And you get to choose every single moment. Every choice you make plays out in the consequence of that choice. And sometimes we can really beat ourselves up for the choices we made and the consequences we're now in. The good news is that tomorrow's a new day. So we attract, we think about, and what we focus on. We're human attractors. And the cool thing is, every night when you go to sleep, the attracting machine gets shut down for the time that you're asleep. So it's like starting your car in the morning. Most of us know it'll start, depending, especially I live in Colorado here upon the weather, but we're pretty certain when we flip the switch, the light's going to go on. And when we turn over our engine with our key, it's going to start. So every morning we get to hit restart. And all it takes is going above that line of courage to take a simple action step and to lovingly ask the universe to provide the people, places, and circumstances that you need to thrive so that you are in a state of well-being and you continue to bring people, places, and circumstances in that support your state of well-being. You are a miracle. You're amazing. You're awesome. I am Dr. Beth Golden. You are listening to Golden Alignment, and I work with people who have been on a personal and spiritual journey for quite some time. That way we have a common language, and I help you go from ordinary to extraordinary. I help you remind you of the purpose that was planted in your heart for being here. And sometimes it's a big change, and sometimes you need someone to walk beside you. And even if you have to put the face on, as I always think of entrepreneurs, because we don't want to let anybody know that anything's not right in our world and that we're successful and all is well, we need some assistance. And I have a program that helps you love and honor who you are, get really clear. That clarity helps you attract and make more money and serve more people and really know your gifts and talents in order to thrive. You are not ordinary, you're extraordinary. You're someone with a big dream planted in your heart, and I'm here to help that dream come to fruition. Thank you so much for listening today. I appreciate your support on Golden Alignment. And next week is 4th of July. We will have a fabulous guest. So much love and blessing. Have a safe week. Stay tuned, and we'll talk again next Wednesday.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Golden Alignment. Dr. Beth Golden will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, enjoy playing in that golden space where health, wealth, love, and magical opportunities appear in golden alignment.